Have you been thinking about your financial freedom, wanting to pass down a legacy to your family? Shouldn't you have that by now? If the answer is yes, here's my question. Why don't you have it? Now, we're in front of one of my houses that I got by becoming the bank. Guys, I got this house by taking over the existing mortgage, leveraging the seller, the old owner's credit. We didn't have to qualify for that debt. So I'm gonna give you guys a little tour of this place. We're gonna talk about your financial freedom. Okay, guys. Now, this place was in foreclosure, all right? There's no electricity in here. So it was in foreclosure, it was going to auction. We actually stopped the auction the day before. So we bought this house with very little money out of our own pocket. We actually helped the people that live here, and this place is amazing. We stopped the foreclosure on this, paid $6,000 to the seller, found them a rental property to get them out of the house, and here we are. Most people can't afford to pay 20% down, 25% down, or build up their credit in order to be able to qualify for a mortgage to buy an investment property. So today, guys, I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about the strategies that we use to acquire this property. We acquired this property by leveraging the seller's credit. We didn't have to qualify. We didn't have to use debt to income ratios. We didn't have to put 20% down. We didn't have to jump through the usual typical hoops of a traditional real estate investing situation. Now, right now, I'm in Burleson, Texas, man. I'm all the way from Iowa, standing in a property that is valued at about $485,000. Biggest house on the block. The first thing that I'm gonna talk to you about today is how did we find this deal? Lead generation, that's gonna be one of your most powerful tools in creative financing and subject to, because if a house is for sale, hey, I don't even really want it, okay? We don't even have anything to talk about unless it's been on the market for 90 days or more. We want all off-market, no competition leads. We actually found this place, a couple of my inner circle students found it using the Go-Getter Families Finding Prospects research method. This was on public record in Dallas, Texas on the foreclosure list. So once we find nice looking houses, we target those houses based off of certain data sets. One is the desirability of the neighborhood, and then how much equity is there in the deal? Well, the next thing is we have to analyze the deal. We have to run the numbers, okay? So there are 3 pillars of profit that the Go-Getter family teaches, and that we always have to have at least 2 out of 3 of those in the situation for us to get in the deal. Okay, we want 2 out of 3 of the pillars of profit. The first one is how much equity is there, all right? And for those of you that don't know what equity is the market value minus the existing mortgage, the underlying debt that is attached to the property. And then the next thing is cash flow. How much cash flow, monthly cash flow, because guys, that's your income. Once you get in this game, if you're not working your 9 to 5 with those golden handcuffs, well then, your income is going to be your monthly cash flow off of each property. So here's how you calculate the cash flow. How much is the monthly mortgage payment plus any other expenses? Then we subtract that from the market rent that we can get for the property. And then third, last, but definitely not least, it is our vacation money, okay? And for those that don't know, that is called a down payment, but it's an option fee in the paperwork, okay? So how much down payment can we get? We like to get at least 7.5% minimum down payment. We actually get that option fee and we get to spend that as we see fit. That is a non-refundable option consideration fee. Next, we've got to skip trace the owner. We've got to find the owner. Now, there's a number of ways that you can skip trace. You can do a whole batch of them and just pay a company and maybe get random information back. But then again, it's not feasible for us to manually skip trace, 500 leads, 1,000 leads. So what I like to do when I'm first starting out is cherry pick. I'm going to find the best, most desirable neighborhood, the houses in the most desirable neighborhood with the best numbers, and then I'm going to skip trace those myself. So once we find them, next is negotiating. It's time for the negotiation. Now listen guys, a negotiation, it's a dance. This isn't wholesaling. We don't want to just stumble in there, get all clumsy and just throw out an offer. You cannot try to buy their house the very first time you meet them. If you do, you'll end up never buying a house, all right? So we use our ACEs method. If you're in the Go-Getter family, you're gonna use the tools, all right? We've got a seller presentation, we've got our prospect questionnaire, and along the way, it keeps us on a framework, guys. These aren't scripts, okay? Now you can utilize it as a script, but it's not a script. okay? So you get to have a conversation, but we're guiding that conversation. Along the way, we are planting seeds about how we're gonna get this done creatively. It's about planting the seed. So next, after you do the negotiation, these people agreed, all right? It was down to the paperwork. Now, this is the thing about the paperwork. We, the Go-Getter family, we've got the best paperwork in the game. My mentor, man, Lou Brown, the great Lou Brown, he's the founder of Subject 2. He's been doing this for a very long time, and we buy and trust.